Alright, we're going to change the rear brake cylinders and choose on this car new parts in the box. These are the liners, and I've got new wheel cylinders. And I'll just jack the car up, we'll take it off. Let's get started. Alright, we've got to take this hubcap off. The best way to do that is work your way around it. Got an impact here. $17mm. Wheel nuts to the side. Pull it off. Set the wheel in. We can use this. Alright, we just got the screw out, the screw just fell out. We've done no damage to the screw, so just need to sit that to the side and pull this off. Oh yeah, wheel cylinder's leaking quite a bit. I'd say we've got quite a bad leaking wheel cylinder. We've got brake fluid everywhere in here, and we've got brake fluid everywhere on the brake. So let's take this off, and we have to clean all this mess up too. I'll just move this impact driver set. Now we need to pop these off because it's very dirty in here. We're going to need to get a pair of pliers, but we're going to make sure we lay it out so we know how it all goes back. That's going to be the next problem. So I have to get myself a couple of picks. Alright, I've got quite a bit of equipment now. We've got the pliers and stuff, but I've got something to sit on too. So what I need to do is just need to move all my tools out of the way properly, because we've got these wheel cylinders here. But let's just grab a wheel cylinder out. I don't really want to show you the part brand or anything on these wheel cylinders because I don't get nothing from them. Before we go taking this off, we want to make sure, sit that wheel cylinder on there, and make sure that wheel cylinder is in line before we just go pulling all this shit off. I'll just check it. Looks like it might be right. So I'll just set that new wheel cylinder down. I've got this under there. What we need to do is take these. We've got these springs on the brake. We've got to take these springs off. So just be careful with your eyes and that when you go to take these off. I'll be able to get using bigger pliers. Oops, I just took that one out. Moved that accidentally out, that spring. I didn't want to take that out. because it's got to go back in there. We don't want to go pulling any extra stuff off, because we want to know how it all goes back together. We've got the top off it now. Just move that spring. Well, that's what we didn't want to happen. You know, all that shit sprung out. It's not good. I need to take these gloves off. These gloves have been becoming a big problem. I'm just going to have to get my hands filthy dirty. Right, we've got the spring. The spring just keeps pressure on this. We've got this here, but we need to make sure that we don't knock this. We want to leave them sitting on the ground like that. So move that. Yep. That looks like that side. I don't know if that one's this side or not. It's got the notch in it where the spring goes. Yep. It's got all the right holes in it. Yep. So these are the two for this side. These other two, whoops. These other two are like the other side. And the wheel cylinders, they've got the same part numbers. So what we'll do is we'll leave these sitting over here the way. Set these new ones behind me, and we'll leave this all this old shit on the ground here. Now we've got to take the wheel cylinder out and swap that, which is this part here we've got to take out. And brake fluid's going to come out. So I've got a dish under here to catch it, and once I take this off and I put this new one in, I'll just undo that because you've seen what I've been doing. Alright, I've undone the wheel cylinder. Should be able to. We've got to get the wheel cylinder out. Alright, just lift that junk out, leave it sitting up. Just like that. And what we'll do is we're just checking our old one with the new one to make sure that it is 100% right. Looks right. Make sure if you got filthy dirty hands and that, don't go getting it in there where you're going to be putting this back on into the brake. Alright, we've put the wheel cylinder in. I've got the old junk out, but what we need to do is we need to degrease the hub itself, because we've got a lot of that dirty brake fluid in there, and we do not want that in the new brakes. So what we need to do is just put some degreaser on it. Try and keep the tin there to limit it. And this is the drum. What I'll do, I'll just hose this out and then I'll go and get a rag and wipe it out. Alright, now we've got the brakes off, so what we've got to do now is move the spring off this one straight onto this one, and move the spring into the bottom like that. But before we do that, you're going to want to hook up the handbrake. Whoops. I'll hold it from the back side, I'll push it on, and then I'll try and turn it. Just like that. Right, so that's on there properly. Now we need to make sure we push this in there. That's it. It wasn't sitting in there in the bottom of the section properly. Right, now we need a new one. This is our other new one here. We need to transfer this stuff off, which we haven't got this metal bracket for that. So let's just take that out for a minute. Our tab's supposed to sit like that. We need to take this pin out. What I'll do is just grab the hammer. Right, I've got a punch out. Just knock that pin out. We need to make sure we put it in there how it come out though. So set that stuff aside for a minute. Put this pin in. Alright, got the pin in there. Now this was sitting on here, this went in the top of it here. That's how that come off. Now that spring was sitting in the top of it. So we got this, needs cleaning up. Clean this up first. Top spring here. Just see that top spring in here. I'm not exactly sure how that goes yet. Like this. We've got to hook this in here. Get this lined up. I'm going to try and get this spring on. And hold it all yourself with one hand while you try and push this in. Alright, after you've installed them, which I've installed these, I've cleaned them, so I'm going to put all over them. I've cleaned out this, so it's nice and good. And these aren't very old either, these, you can probably tell that. And to adjust them, got to line up that hole, and when you do these, now you always spin them with your hand. You can do them up, but to adjust them, they will adjust themselves. But to adjust them, you've got this metal tab, and you can just wind this out, and that's what this does. That's why that spring's on here. Keep that locked in. But once you, I need to bleed them, but I won't do that until I've got the other side done. So what we'll do is we'll just stick these back on here, because I've got to go around and do the other side. Put them on, get our screw, put the screw in there. And I recommend, after you do these, is make sure that you move them at the back there, get them out of the way. I recommend that you check these hubs after you drove them for a little bit, because what will happen is if you have these drums, these rear drums too tight, they'll get hot and they'll you'll smell them. So what we do is just put the wheel back on. Wheel nuts. and grab the impactor. Alright, I've got the impactor here. Alright, now I will tighten these up shortly and I'll also put the hubcap on shortly. But what I'll do is I'll leave this off for the time being because we've got to bleed these. Alright, we're on the other side now. Let's take the spring off. That's not how we should have done it. It's a bit sloppy on me. Right, now we need to remove that, lay that out in the ground. We've got that. Now we need to undo this spring. There's the next move. Whoops. Might just get pointing those pipes then. Right. Got that. I'm going to push this in, hold the rear. We need to turn these. Whoops. Push them in. Right. We've got one off. See that there? Yeah. Just take that out. See that on the ground. Didn't want all that shit falling out. Can't really do much about that though. A bit disappointed really what I just did then. Because I nearly created more work for myself. I'm not happy about that. If I'd have laid that out professionally, like a professional, we would have been right then, but no. Let all the shit fall out of it. I'm going to lay them on the ground, just like that, because that's how they come out. We know how this went. We had a lot of trouble on the other side. With this, there's something. Is that it? Alright. Let's undo the wheel cylinder. We need a 10mm. I'll do that if I can, like the wheel cylinder and the thing. It's just here. Got an undo. It's a 10mm. So what we'll do is we're just going to put that in. And before we go doing nothing up, we need to try and get this thread started. And screw the thread in all the way now if you can. The reason why is that other one on the other side, I had quite a bit of trouble getting it started. We've got to line it up with the nut. And I've got brake fluid and shit everywhere too. Where's the ratchet? Now, it's gonna be a bit hard. Alright, we've got a brand new shoe out. So what we'll do is we'll just give this a quick run over. It's pretty good inside here, but just mainly down the bottom here, where any of that dust and shit can collect. Just to clean it out. Alright. Now what we're going to do is just click our handbrake cable in. Whoops. My mistake. Oh, and we want to put that spring in the bottom too. Come on, get in there. handbrake cable in, and we need to push this pin through. Where's the pin? Right, got the pin there. Get our caliper, make sure the caliper's sitting in there nice. Alright, now what we want to do is get our pliers, line this up. Where's that gone? There. I'll line that up nice, like that, so you can push it with the pliers straight back. If you can, hold it. Oh shit. What I was trying to do is push it with the pliers, and I've got my finger on the back of it. You can't see where my finger is. I've got my finger on the back of this tab, forcing it forward while I'm trying to push this on. And then I just need to try and quickly turn it with the pliers once I'm... Oh, now my spring's coming up. Everything's fucking falling apart here. What the fuck's going on here? Right. Got that. Now, let's try again. Get that lined up. You could use a socket on this too. A small gauge socket. Like a deep impact socket or something like that to get these in. What's happening is I'm allowing my hand to, fall too. Just twist it like that. When you've got it in there, you've got to make sure it's in there properly. Then make sure you got this. Make sure this is in the right position. And our spring fell out, so we need to put our spring back in. Alright, now that's that side done. Next side is the left side, so get our caliper, rear brake drum shoe, sorry. Take that off. We'll sit that over there. We need to knock that pin back out. So the pin's got to go through halfway. So what we need to do is just bring that pin out. Get our centre punch, what we got. Just take the pin out, move that side. Alright. No, see, lucky I had the pliers still on it. That would have shot straight back out. Yeah, it's trying to get the spring though. This is the problem, like, trying to use one hand. Trying to get one hand on here holding it. And then I'm trying to get this on here, but I've got to try and turn it at the same time. Definitely a deep impact socket would work on this. Just got to try and turn it from the back now. Yeah, it is in the bottom properly. Right, now. We've got our adjuster here. What we've got to do is put our adjuster in. Put her in from the back here. As I did last time, I just pulled the shoes back, and then I just pushed the shoes back in, just like that, and then I catch that. Right. Yeah, that's our adjuster in. Now this is the self adjuster on the wheel when you go to turn it. So that's got to slip in behind it like that. And we've got our spring, and this is not my strong hand either to pull. Oh, hang on, we've got to put this one in first, put that spring in the top like that, and then we have to put this spring in here, in behind here, so it locks in there. Then we've got to drag that spring across. We've got to hook that spring onto that one, what we just got. Just be very careful with your eyes. Make sure you keep anything away from your face. You should have a pair of glasses on when you're putting these springs on, because that thing comes out, could hit you in the eye. So we've got this spring here, it's got to be put back on. So it's got to go in This spring's got a... Yeah, it's got a slip up in here. Whoops, come on, get it. Slip it up on there, and then we've got to put that spring, lock this spring down into the bottom here. Just like that, that's it. Right, that's all on there properly, that's it. We've done them. All we need to do is get our brake drum, give this one a wipe out. They're in pretty good nick, these. They got no marks or nothing in them. This wheel cylinder wasn't leaking on this side, it was only the other side that was leaking, causing problems. And yeah, to put it on, just line her up, just like that. We're going to have to back that off with your screwdriver, because when you put these in, like you've got an adjuster here, this metal wheel, and all we have to do is wind it back. And what that allows is, I'll wind it back first. What this metal wheel does here, what you just see me turning then, is it allows the shoes to move in, just like that. Because when you put your foot in the brake, it pushes them out. They go out like that, like they're split in two and get forced out sideways. Make sure they're in the wheel cylinder. And what happens when they get forced out, that's what makes your brakes work. And to get your drum back on, that's all you have to do. Just move it around. What's going on here? Why isn't the drum going on? Let me have a look and move some stuff out of the way. I've just wound that into the maximum. I just need to check, make sure it's in the bottom here properly. It is in the bottom properly. So what's going on then? What is this bloody thing going on? If it's in the bottom properly, that's it. Just needed to be knocked up from the bottom. Right, don't lose that bloody screw. It's got to go back in here. Give her a spin. And we know they're right because they're even. We haven't stuffed anything up with them. Right, let's get our wheel nuts. Grab our wheels first. Move the container up. They give you these shit little caps to bleed things. We won't be needing them. We put our ones back on. And these drums, they'll self-adjust themselves once we bleed them. And I won't do them on the concrete when I bleed them. I'll drive the car backwards and put it on the grass. I'll get a big ratchet and I'll do them up by hand. And I've got to put the I've got to do up the wheel nuts, but I've got to remove the car back first, and I'll bleed the brakes, check them just in case. Got to do some checks on them. Alright, the brakes are done. Got to move all this crap out of the way, and got to pump up the pump the brakes, get some brake fluid, pop up the bonnet, fill up the brake reservoir, and do them. And that's how to do rear drum brakes on a whole Astra car. This is, and yeah, I've got the tools here. Got jack stands, so I'll take that stuff out from underneath and throw this other crap in the bin. And yeah, the main reason why we did the job today is that this driver's side rear wheel cylinder was leaking, and the rear wheel cylinder was about 40 bucks, but you could buy the new shoes and the new wheel cylinders for 100 bucks. And we may as well do both sides, because that wheel cylinder on the other side's probably going to leak soon, because this one was leaking heaps now. So that's why we done both wheel cylinders, and we changed the shoes, because we had to take them off to do the wheel cylinders, and now he's putting the old shoes back on with the new wheel cylinders, because the drums were changed not that long ago, because one of them was making a squealing noise, so that's why the drums were changed and others weren't. But really what should have been done before is when the drums were changed, it should have been all wheel cylinders and the drums on the back. But yeah, it took me about 2 hours to do this. I did, like, you know what I mean, I had to jack it up, bit of stuff in around. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and have a great day.